the other end will go into the cinch ring, the one that's in the middle turn. That little winch snap will go into the cinch ring itself, and you want to make a distance just exactly like you have of about a foot or so there. And this is what this is going to do. It's going to teach him several things. It's going to teach flexion, and that'll tighten that down. And so let's see, is that one going through? Is the part of the bungee cord going through your?
Right here.
Yeah, you don't have to have that in there. That can be it's like it's tied onto it in the middle. There you go. Now snap that end into the cinch ring. And then you will link the one in the middle. Yep, just put it in on the right-hand side or on the side of his leg. Sorry. That's good point. Go right into the cinch ring, not the middle one. There you go. So it doesn't pinch him. Now, make that length of that, just shorten that up so that it's only about 8 inches or a foot away from his mouth would only be that far away. So length. Okay. Shorten your. There you go. Just shorten that way up. Way up. So it's only got about 8 inches of room there. Keep shortening it, and then you're gonna have to tie it off. Shorter.
Okay.
You want the snap end only about 8 inches away from the other snap. So I think you took it out.
Oh gosh, that's confusing.
And I think you tied a clove knot in there. So shorten it. Yep, that length there needs to be from snap to snap only about 8 inches.
Okay, gotcha. Not from the snap to his mouth.
Right.
Okay.
Snap to snap about 8 inches.
So a little bit more.
There you go. A little bit more. What this is going to do is it's going to teach him to give to pressure. And see, he's got good flexion anyway when he wants to. He reaches back there and sniffs you. He sniffs his saddle, and all kinds of things that are back there. So what we want to do is you can tie their heads around. Now, some people tie clear up to the swells on the saddle. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try that to begin with. We may have to shorten it even, believe it or not. We may have to shorten it almost half of that, but let's try it there. But I like to tie it low like this because that keeps his head low, and it keeps him with the ability to give to the pressure. Because if he pulls on it, that's going to give him a lot of resistance, but not so much resistance like tying hard and fast with a rein where he can't get away from it because his neck muscles may cramp, and we want him to be able to move his neck around a little bit. But what this will do is it'll teach him to turn, and when he turns, he keeps his head low, and hopefully he'll give to the resistance. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what you're going to do now is put that snap in his ring of his bridle, and then just step away from it. And you may have to help him. There you go. Now step away, and then just there. Now you may have to turn him in circles. See how he's kind of throwing his head a little bit?
Yeah.
You want to make sure he doesn't pull that ring through his mouth. If he does, we're just going to stop.
It doesn't look like.
Is it holding?
Yeah, it looks like it's holding.
Okay, and look at him. He's starting to get to that resistance a little bit. Now, walk to the back side of him and have him turn in circles. There you go. So walk around. There you go. You're going to walk around. There. And when he sees you, now go ahead and send him. Send him that way. Just stop where you're at. Now stop. You stop. Stop there. There you go. Now walk to his hip as he comes around. There you go. He's just turning. Very good. Okay, now walk over towards his hip again. And it's counterintuitive that if you turn around, now he's going to turn around and go around away from you. Right there. Now stop. Just have him keep moving in a tight circle. Just encourage him to move and give to that bit. There you go.
Oh boy.
Very good. Yes, and praise him for that.
Good boy.
And you're watching his mouth all the time. You're going to watch that he's giving to that pressure. There, he gives it to it. He gives to it. And this is the part. This is about as much restraint as we want to give him, but we're teaching him to teach himself. So you give him about 10 good turns, and then just step away from him and go out to the edge of the corral.
Good
There you
boy.
go. And let's see how much he does this on his own. Good, very good. And we want to make sure he's giving to that pressure.
Good boy.
Yeah, good job for you. Because when you see him give, you're encouraging him. That's excellent. That's exactly what we want to do, because you're going to do the same thing on his back. Notice how his head stays fairly low.
Mhm.
He's not kicking. He's picking that head up a little bit, but there he's dropping it down. He'll learn to keep that head low.
Good boy. Good.
If he does so well with this, you may not need the full cheek snaffle.
Okay.
He's doing very well with this.
Not going through his mouth. Good boy.
If it's not going through his mouth and he's not fighting it very much, then outstanding. We probably don't need to worry about that full cheek snaffle. You're doing everything you need to do right here. Now we will need the full cheek snaffle later on.
Okay.
When we get to the point where you're going to get on him, I want you to please get a full cheek snaffle in his mouth.
Okay. Good boy. Trying to chew it off.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's trying to figure out. He says, "What in the world? This has never happened to me before." So let's give him about just maybe 2 or 3 more turns, because he is giving to it. So we want to encourage that. When he turns about 2 or 3 more times, then let's go ahead and switch sides.
Okay.
And when we switch sides, you're going to find that he's going to confuse him. He's going to really, really throw that head around, because he's used to being turned to the left, and this is not normal for him.
Okay.
Look at how low that head is. There we go. This is doing exactly what we want it to do. And remember, this is about flexion.
Good boy.
It's about giving. It's about turning, and it's about giving to the pressure, keeping the head low, and teaching flexion, and then giving to that bit. Not just giving to the pressure that's pulling on him, but giving away from the other side of that bit, so that all of the pressure is off. Because you're going to do that when you're on his back. As he comes around, go ahead and catch him, and then undo that bit. There you go.
Boy. Good.
Now there you go. Now just swap sides.
Good boy. Got to stretch out, huh?
Now you only do this when they are consistently giving pressure. And when you ask them to turn, they keep the pressure off the entire time. So this might last, 3 or 4 sessions. It might last 6 or 8 sessions. And hey, that's not bad. See how he's trying to push his head the other way? See that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's confused, because that's not what he did the first time. There you go. Very good.
Yeah. Wow. Huh.
See how that left brain and right brain are completely, seems like they're not even connected.
Yeah, he's completely different.
He's putting a lot of pressure. You have to. There he goes. You got to make sure that the pressure or the bungee did not loosen up. It looks like it might have a little, or did it?
It might have.
Yeah, go ahead and tighten it back up then if it has.
Okay.
But he's doing really well.
Good boy.
And look how you go in there and save him. He's all about being saved.
Good boy.
Yeah, notice how on the other side it's normally that first direction is pretty easy, but then it becomes very difficult for him, because it's exactly the opposite of what we did before. But this is going to save him so much grief, and this is something my dad taught me, passed on to me, that for, oh my God, decades now, we've used this method to really teach this horse to give, and they're teaching themselves. Yeah, see, and he's moving away from it. He's in the mode of turn, but that's okay. He's disengaging that hind end, and I can't think of a better or easier way to do this, and still keep his head low. Some people will they'll tie up hard and fast, or they'll tie up to the top of the almost to the saddle horn. Well, that raises that horse's head up, and that's not what you want. There you go. Very good. He's doing great. He's doing very, very well.
Good boy. Good. Oh, don't fall over.
You see the difference between just a couple of inches tighter on that is where you started out on the other side. I think we just lost some slack when we changed over, and so it allowed him to be able to pull that head over.
Yeah, to the side we started on.
Yes. But, the only pressure that's being put on him is the pressure he's putting on.
Okay.
So that's why I like this. And this is why literally I can have a neck rein on a horse in 20 rides.
Good boy.
And it's not, there you go. You got to watch his mouth, because anytime they fight it, it can rub them a little bit raw in the corners of their mouths. You want to make sure that that's taken care of and they're okay.
Okay.
Are we still not pulling that ring through his mouth?
Yeah, that's good.
You're good? All right. Awesome.
Good boy. Good boy.
Very good. Yeah, and you're patient. You're giving him a chance to turn on his own when he stands there. There you go. Good job. Yes.
Good. Good boy.
Very good. Very, very good. He is doing as well as one could hope.
Awesome.
And that's why I prepped you there to begin with, is that you really can see them. They'll fight it. They'll throw themselves down. They'll throw a fit. Sometimes they get so wound up that they'll throw themselves over backwards, and that's not what you want. But they just get over dramatic about it, and sometimes fearful. That's why doing the groundwork that you've done, pulling him around, working with the sacking, all of this stuff really pays off here because they stay calm.
Good boy. Yeah, I'm amazed at how calm he is.
Yep. No, and that's the whole point of you doing what you're doing. You're a trainer.
Yay. Good boy.
You're changing behavior, right? And you're changing it for the positive.
Yeah.
Look at that. Nice. Very, very good. And he's turning. He's not trying to turn around and keep that bit and just go around the outside of the corral. He's trying to turn around himself.
Yeah. Good boy.
Good. He's given to it. That's awesome. Now he'll probably try to reach back and bite the stirrup at some point or the saddle because he doesn't understand that that's causing him the angst.
Yeah,
Did he do? Okay, you did do that. All right.
Good boy.
Okay, Skyhawk is asking Jake if the exercise is for rein training, and it is. That's exactly what we're looking at. Not just reining, but for him to give to the bit, whether it's a neck rein or a direct rein. If we pull on that bit in a direct rein, then we want him. There, he's getting a little frustrated, and that's okay. Yeah, just turn him. We want him to give to the bit, and that's the whole point of this. Is that this is a bungee cord type material that provides resistance as he straightens his head out. But he can straighten his head out in case he gets a cramp in his neck. His head is low because it's attached at the bit ring and at the cinch ring. So we're keeping his head low. He's turning. He's giving to the resistance of the bit and giving to the bit on the outside of the pull, and he's giving to the resistance on the inside of the pull. And this is what keeps our horses nice and flexible. You're doing some flexion training here, and it allows them to give to that rein when we're on their back, and we start reining them. And then we're gonna do this, and we're gonna not only rein him this way, we're gonna be driving him on the ground to begin with before we get on his back. That's to come yet. So here's the thing I'm going to do, Taryn, is I'm going to send you anyway a full cheek Snapple bit that I'll loan to you. We've got some other horses that are going to start going, but I'll loan that to you, and I'm going to loan you my drive lines. So look for them in the mail this next week.
Thank you.
You bet. We won't use them right away, but we'll get to them when you're ready to start driving him. We need to do this a few more times, not that many, and have him respond. Yeah, see how he's still working on that.
So
okay.
We want him to be turning. We want him to be moving.
We want him to turn. We want him to turn, and because you're going to be doing that when you're on his back, but when he's standing still, we want him to also give to that, give to the pressure when he does stand. There, like that. Look at that. Nice. So when you turn him, when you're on his back, this is the kind of turn you want out of him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not seeing me.
Right, and he's pushing. If you watch where his legs, he's stepping that inside leg out, and he's crossing over on the front leg, on the opposite front leg. Notice how he's working into that turn.
Yeah. Good boy. So when he's turning, our end result is going to look like him stepping underneath himself, but forward, and then he's not resisting the bit at all.
That's right.
Moving enough. And then he stops, and he doesn't hang on that outside.
Yeah, when he stops, he completely gives to that bit and just stands there with no resistance. So it's time. There you go. Go ahead and step in there to him. Don't let him turn, and just go ahead and undo him. He's done it enough. Look at him. Give that resistance. Look at that. Nice.
Good boy. Sweaty. Is that hot? The first time he's really sweat.
Yeah, that's hard work for him. I would imagine they usually do sweat a little bit. It's a little anxiousness. He's working. He's turning. And there's some mental exercise going on there. And then just the physical. So that's my gift to you, that you can have that.
Thank you. This is really cool.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. We have never, ever, ever shown anybody this until just now.
You're going to have to patent this now.
Well, there's no patent, but if you sell this as anything other than what my dad showed me and then I showed you, we'll hunt you down. This is why we get our horses to respond so nicely so early. And I've never seen anybody else do it like this. I think my dad figured it out. Dad is very, very smart, very mechanical, and would come up with things like this. And this is so simple that it is so effective. And that's, sometimes the most simple things are the most effective and the best. So we've always kind of guarded this. And my boys have both used it, and they will, continue as they want to train. But, I'm not going to withhold something this vital from you when you're training under me. I won't do that. I'm going to give you what I believe I would want.
Well, thank you very much. This is really cool.
Good. And we will help a little bit. I'll help you along with this. He's going to resist it a little bit later. Then that would happen. I mean, it's just the way it is. When we'll work through it together. But if you can do this, and it doesn't have to be for all that long a time. 10 minutes, 15 minutes max, as long as he's turning, and or if he's standing there giving, is fine. And if I were you, if he's turning fine on his own, go ahead and get the heck out of the corral. Go stand over there in the tack room where he can't see you and watch him, and see what he does. And you know what? We're out of time.
Well, this was awesome. Just keep doing what I'm doing then and introduce this to him every day.
Yeah, just keep doing that this week. Make sure that bit is not pulling through his mouth. It's up there against his corners. It's going to put some pressure on there, and he may start to see a little soreness there. We don't want that to happen, but it will happen. I mean, it's unavoidable. But I would rather have that happen now and him doing it and you be able to control it than him to, not be able to understand what giving is when you're on his back and you both get hurt badly. So if you have to put a little bit of, some Novacin or something on his corners of his mouth, some, Neosporin, go ahead and do that. Just to keep that mouth from drying out a little bit. It might be almost like a little blister on your fingers, if you do it too much. So do that, but go ahead and keep working him through this week. And then next Tuesday we'll be able to get together again and we'll see how he's done over the week. And by that time you should have your drive lines. They should have gotten to you by then. I'm surprised you didn't have them last week or have this piece last week. I think it was about 10 days ago I sent it to you.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But I will send my drive lines that I made, and I will also send my so that you can use it and ride with it as well until he's done training. So Skyhawker asked if the soreness goes away eventually, and it does. The soreness is very temporary. It's almost like you say having just rubbing the skin off your finger a little bit, and just a slight abrasion, and it will go away. So that is very important. It's a really good question. You do not want to inflict pain on someone that says that continues to keep pain. That's not the right way to go about doing some things like this, and people do that. So it's just a little bit of a rub, or when you're over wearing on your skin. It's the same thing, and it will go away. And they really don't seem to notice it, to be honest with you. But I like to make sure it doesn't get an infection, or the skin will dry up a little bit. So putting some Neosporin or something like that on it will keep that skin soft, so that it does slough away and it's not pulling on the rest of the underlying tissue. You know how that is to pull a scab off. That's kind of painful. So you don't want to inflict pain on the very part of his body that you want very sensitive and responsive. Okay, I'm going to hang out here for a little bit and answer some questions if there's any more, and then we'll check in next Tuesday and see how you're doing.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Brandon. And we'll see you
next week. Thank you, Karen.
Perfect.
Very good job again. You're doing great. Keep up that good intuition.